Okay, all right, everyone. Okay, we'll start our second meeting of this Tales of the of the issue. This would be our compilation after we gathered our evidence and also the analysis, and we can finally conclude where is the issue. Okay. So I'll just recap a bit about the case that I've mentioned last time. So for the introduction of this case investigation, there's actually a growing concern over reduction of fish number and sizes along Koli River from a letter received by the authority. And additionally, in the letter, it is mentioned that there's an increase in the industrialization and urbanization along the river and increased number of the fishing permits. Therefore, an investigation was made to address this concern. For the objectives of our investigation is to identify the problem, when and where it occurred, to list the potential sources of the pollution, to analyze and determine any toxicological issues, and to determine the source of the pollution. So these are our strategies that we discussed last time, is to investigate the land use along the river and list the potential pollution based on the actual activities, to sample and analyze the river at monitoring stations and areas along the Koli River, and to gather the evidence and determine the source of the problem. So just a recap, the probable cause may be river pollution, increased activities and practices, dumping of chemicals, and overfishing. So we shall see after this are the evidence pointing towards the probable causes that we foresee before. Okay. For the first evidence, will be started with Mengru, which is for the land use along Koli River. So what shall be your
I will show the potential pollution from the company's practice and their environmental effects. What would incinerate companies? It is waste disposal by incineration. It will produce dioxide sulfate. It will contribute to acid rain affecting aquatic ecosystems, and it produce particular metal. It will make lakes and streams acidic, and it will produce violet metal and molecular divalent chloride. It is toxic, affecting aquatic ecosystems. And the second company is Dexter Farmer. It is Danny Farmer. It will producing manual and fertilizer runoff, and causing eutrophication, leading to oxygen depletion and fuel killings. And it also can produce synergy nitrates. It will cause oxygen depletion and eutrophication. It is toxic to aquatic life. And it have produced pesticides, which is harmful to aquatic life. The third company is Brady Brass. It is a brass foundry. It will produce heavy metals such as copper. It will interference with fission metabolism and reproduction, and also have zinc and lead and nickel. It will toxic to plants and animals and aquatic organism. It have produced acid effluent. It will lower river pH, harming aquatic organism, and thermal pollution raises water temperature, now dissolved oxygen levels, and affected sensitive aquatic species. And the fourth company is the next slide. The fourth company is Fanny Farmer. It is a rubber farmer. It will producing nutrient runoff, causing eutrophication and water quality degradation, exhibits unpleasant odor and discoloration, and it will producing particulate matter. It will increase turbidity affecting aquatic plants, and it will producing heavy metal. It is long-term sedimental contamination and toxicity. It will also produce persistent organic pollutants. It will contaminate the river and harm aquatic organism over time. Next company is Bupol Beers. It is brewery for large and beer. It will cause oxygen depletion, lead to hypoxia or anoxia conditions harmful to aquatic life. And it will producing alcohol and fermentation residue. It is toxic to aquatic life, lower pH and pH of rivers. And nitrates from waste storage will contaminate the river, and the sediment pollution will smothering aquatic habitats. The next company is Knava Dairy Company. It is dairy products such as milk, cheese, and butter. It will produce fat, oil, and grease contamination. It cause reducing oxygen exchange and harming aquatic organism, and it will alter pH and cause die-off of fishing, and it will produce suspended sodium, reducing water clarity, emitting night penetration, and altering habitats, and it will producing produce and dairy by products. It is run of contamination and high BOD and COD. The next company is MC Nautis Crispy Company. It is food processing such as crispies and biscuits. It will produce acrylamide. It will promote algal blooms and which can disrupt aquatic ecosystems. And the next company is Bellevue Cottage Hospital. This is local hospital and we are using incinerator. It will produce heavy metal and leaching into the river, and it will produce PCDD and PCDF. It will contaminate water, and it will produce pharmaceuticals, disrupting aquatic ecosystems and organic metals. It will cause oxygen depletion in the river, and microplastic pollution. It is difficult to remove.
Okay.
Okay. And the next.
Yeah, this one I will continue with my part. Okay, so the next company that is involved in this investigation is the Harmony Cleaning Products. So the industry is about the cleaning products and detergents industry, and basically it produces phosphates, which leads to eutrophication, and then the surfactants and chlorinated compounds, So actually, these are very toxic to aquatic organisms, also the heavy metals. And the next one is the Clay Products Limited, which is the ceramics industry, which also produces heavy metals. And then it also produce suspended solids which and dissolved solid which alter the water quality. And then the next one is the Paper Pack Limited, which is in the paper pulp industry. It also produces suspended solid, which increases the water turbidity, and also some other um, components such as DOM, which is a lignin, which will deplete the oxygen in the water, and also um, fluorinated organic compounds such as dioxins. So this will also affect the aquatic life. So the next one is okay. This one is a Grant and O'Donnell Limited, which is the metal finishing and plating. So as we can predict from the industry itself, it produces a lot of heavy metals component. So the list here are very toxic to aquatic life, even in very trace level. So they also produces the chelating agent and also the cleaning agents which contaminate the wastewater. So it will also lead to eutrophication. And then the next one is the Maples Farm, which is a sheep farm. This farm will produce a overload of nutrients such as phosphates also, which will also affect the quality of the water. And then some other components such as heavy metals and also organic matters. And then the next one is the Cold Water Authority, which is the drinking water treatment plant. So basically, from water treatment plant, they release the chlorine and chlorinated byproducts, which is very harmful to aquatic life, and also some other components such as sediments and also heavy metals which are also very toxic to aquatics. And then the next one is the Coal River Power Station. It is a coal fire power station. Okay, so the coal fire power station actually will produce a thermal pollution, which will raise the water temperature and affect the aquatic ecosystem. And it also release the heavy metals inside the water, and then some other compounds such as suspended solid and also PAH, which is also highly toxic to aquatics even in trace level. And then the next one is the terrace textile, which is the dyeing of woolen cloth. And then for this one they also release apa a similar component which are like heavy metals which bring severe toxicity to the aquatic life. And then they alter the pH, and they also release the solvent and surfactants, the discharge of volatile organic compounds into the wastewater, which is also very toxic to aquatics. So then, okay, so for all the evidence that we present earlier, so we did perform the analysis, common analysis that we mentioned in the initial plan that we discussed, such as the organic analysis using HPLC, GC, and also the inorganic, such as the metals, we identify by using the methods such as ICP. And then some other factors also are analyzed, such as the pH and also the COD and BOD. So we can conclude, the conclusion will be after this, after the analysis.
Okay, thank you, Magru and Asma. I believe the analysis that I mentioned just now will be attached on the appendix. Okay. Next shall be the monitoring stations evidence. Okay, Kausalya?
Yes, I will continue with the results part, which is monitoring sessions. The questions, based on the questions, I uh, actually find out the results a bit relatable to the questions they asked, which is it an ongoing problem? So based on the results obtained, it is considered as an ongoing problem. It is because the latest result showing the river water is still polluted until causing the river to dry. The problem caused the lower river levels. The second question is where does it occur? Based on the result shown, the problem should be caused in between the point 2 to point 3. It is shown that the pollution started to increase in point 3 and continued to increase in point 4 as well. This shows that the problem started to occur after the second point onwards, and which is resulted the increase of pollutants in point 3 and point 4. And for the next one, potential cause uh, or justification or any toxicological issue based on the results that obtained. The potential causes of the problem should be industries, mills, or companies that build in between the Edward and Collie Bridge. Throughout the river flow, there are industrial incinerator, industrial cleaning products, brickworks, paper mill in the direct contact to the water, river water. So, and then brewery, textiles, and metal finishing that based on the upper part of the Edward is also connecting to the Collie Bridge, so that it could be a potential cause as well to the result that actually taken.
Okay.
This is the
Hello? Are you there? Yes. Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay,
Let
okay.
me continue with the further evidence that required to include the pollutants and contaminants, main contaminants that cause the river to be polluted like that. And for an example, the sample that actually taken is suspended solid by uh, grab sample from the point 2 and from point 3. What are the things that actually looking for from the sample that we collect was hydrocarbons, microparticles, organic pollutants, and heavy metals. And then the method of analysis to conducted was ICP-OES, ICP-MS, and GCMS. For the second one, sediment was actually sampled, uh, used as a sample by doing core sampling. At the things that we were looking for was hydrocarbons, microparticles, organic compounds, and heavy metals. And these compounds are identified using the ICP-OES, ICP-MS, and GCMS method. And to move on with the third one, algal was the compound uh, that we wanted to do sampling, find in the sampling at the point 2 and point 3. And what are we looking for in the algal was growth percentage, and the method of analysis is direct cell counting, spectrometry, and dry weight measurement. Lastly, water samples were taken from the river by grab sampling method at the point 2 and point 3, which is to look for the turbidity using the method of turbidity meter.
Uh, Okay, yeah, I think it's also correct that you only pinpoint the problematics at point 2 and 3 for the sampling, so it becomes easier. However, for the sediment one, you mentioned that it's going to be core sampling. As far as I know, core sampling is quite tedious. So, what approach do you want to use to do this core sampling?
Since the sample should be sediment to find out what are the content inside the sediment, core sampling is the most relevant and reasonable method that we use to take the sediment sample. Core sampling is defined as collecting a cylindrical piece of sediment from the ocean floor, which can be used in the river floor using a special drill. The drill is called corer. So that would be the perfect and relevant sampling method in order to get the sediment sample.
Okay, all right, yeah. It's also one of the correct methods to do core sampling of sediment. Okay, let's move on to next. Okay.
This is based on the recent monitoring session reports. To study the results, based on the results, the water gets contaminated throughout the flow. The results of point 2 to point 3 differs highly compared to the previous point. So it can be concluded at the water pollution started to happen in between the point 2 to point 3. It also continued to increase until affect the point 4 as well. And for the second one, identify the region of the water river you wish to sample. For this one, Buwele is the region that identified, and the river water after the brewery is also a perfect place to put water between brickworks and coal fixed power station. And for the third one, consider how many samples you will wish to collect. We actually wish to collect upstream and downstream of the and after the sampling points mentioned. And the sampling should be done in the flowing water, which is 6 to 8 inches deep and in the mid of the point stream. This is to consider. This is considered as a grab sampling method. Sample should be taken after rinsing the bottle in order to get the correct water that actually there.
Okay. Okay. Next would be the areas around the monitoring station that you pinpoint just now, 2 and 3. Okay.
Yes. And for the further evidence, which are the points that I wish to sample was DJE, and to justify the points and the ecological issue is are the points that nearby to coal station, arable farm, which appearance and high anions and heavy metals, which can be concluded as polluted. Moreover, there are complaints for health risk. Algal growth and organic odor often indicates excess nutrients that could lead to eutrophication, and high solids and algal growth can also affect water for recreational of drinking purposes. And the presence of the slight organic odor may indicate underlying organic decomposition or contamination that requires quantification. Sampling provides evidence for addressing odor related complaints and improve local environmental quality. And based on the points that taken, greenish coloration often indicates organic matter, while foaming can signify surfactants or organic compounds. Sampling helps identify the exact constituents of the solids and foam. Foam in the water can actually result from natural causes or pollutants like detergents or industrial discharges. And for the second part, there are few toxicological issues recorded from the several complaints on odor and stomach upset near arable may be from pesticide exposure. Other than that, there are also records of heavy metal traces in the fish mussels caught at Collie Bridge. Based on the test results, the main source of the ongoing problem is the
Um, okay. So yeah, agree. Based on the evidence recorded, and you also source the evidence from Mengru and also Asma, and it's used as your strong evidence on the toxicological issues. And the findings here also related to the activities that we have that you have pinpoint here, which is the area DJ and E, and all pointing to the coal-fired power station and also the arable farm. I think the toxicological issues also give way to stronger evidence that it's quite a serious issues as it is affecting the people, the community there as well. Okay. So it can be concluded, in conclusion, there's a water pollution affecting Koli River that highly likely caused a depletion in fish numbers in the river. So the evidence gathered from land use along the river and sampling and also the analysis from the monitoring stations strongly indicated that the problem is sourced from the downstream of Atwood and also the Koli Bridge. The potential sources of the pollution are contaminants present from the river samples such as anions and heavy metals, which are suspected to lead to increased microbial activity such as algal growth and poor water quality such as high BOD, DO, and also sedimentation. So these conditions of the river make it uninhabitable to the aquatic life, which is a significant key of fish numbers depletion. The overfishing might also cause this issue as well, because there's already less number of fish that have that inhabiting that habiting the river, and overfishing accelerate the issue as well. And there's also a few toxicological issues recorded from several complaints on odor and stomach upset near the arable farm, as mentioned by Kausalya, which may be from the chemical exposure. So other than that, there's also records of heavy metals traces in the fish mussel caught at the Koli Bridge, and based on the test result, it is safe to conclude that the main source of the ongoing problem is the activities at coal-fired power station and also the arable farm along the Koli River. It's not meant to say that other other companies didn't contribute to the pollution of the Koli River. Each have their own parts, but these two areas are the most serious, the most heavily contaminated with all the pollutants that has been analyzed before. Okay. Any other things to be added from you guys, Asma, Menru, and Kausalya?
Yeah, I think we have concluded our investigation. So I think, yeah, nothing else. Thank you to everyone who are working very hard for this.
Yeah, good job, everyone, because um, visiting the site and also conducting sampling the chemicals and analyze the polluted until we can come to a conclusion. For Mengru and Kausalya, anything else to add?
I think it is very complete, so I have nothing to add. Thank you.
Okay.
I think that's all from my part also. It is well concluded.
All right, all right. Thank you all. So I think this conclude our discussion about this issue. Um, okay, until next time. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.